What's going on YouTube? Today, we're making a fence stretcher reaction post in one day on Mooseworks. Let's go. So I'm working on making a fence right now on the back side of my house. I've put about 200 feet worth of fence posts and I need to stretch wire all the way around it. I'm using 4x2 wire fencing. I use a come-along to stretch that tight and then staple in the wire fence to each of my fence posts. I typically have to look for a tree that's lined up with the fence line to react off of to pull that fence, that wire fence up. Sometimes I don't have a tree that's lined up perfectly on my fence line. So today we're gonna solve that problem. Sometimes you gotta ride the bull. If you know, you know. So to get this done, I thought to myself, what do I have that I can react off of that's not gonna move, bend, or break? And the only thing that I could think of was my truck. So I could put some sort of fence post that mounts to my trailer hitch on the back of my truck, and that would, in theory, hold and not move when I'm loading it down to pull that fence stretcher. It also allows me to pull my truck to any location along any fence line and stretch that fence top in the right direction. Let me grab a whiteboard and I'll show you what I'm talking about. My immovable object is gonna be my truck. So here's my theoretical truck. Don't judge, I ain't no artist. We are gonna take 2x2 square tubing and we're gonna come off of the hitch just like so. Now from there, we're gonna take some 2 3/8 tubing right off the top of that here. This is gonna be where you have your come along here, and I want to have options. So I want a couple of different loops on this reaction post that I can choose to react off here, I can choose to react off here, or I could choose to react off here. Here's gonna be your fence. Now, in terms of the actual design, it's gonna look like this. So we have a 2x2 square tubing. So we are going to have to drill a hole somewhere around right here. I know that the top of my tubing is gonna be 15 inches. What I need to have is at least 24 inches. Let's go 24, 28, 32, and then our last height, 36. So if this is our 2x2, this is gonna be our pipe. Not to scale. Since this is going to be a pretty large force, I'm also going to put a little bit of a gusset plate right here. So we're gonna have our little loops for variable pulling. This is gonna be our tube, our gusset, and then this is gonna be our 2x2 that gets mounted to our hitch. All right, so now that we know what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and cut our pipe. So we're gonna make sure this is at 23 inches long. It does not need to be exact. So we're gonna cut this out with the portaband. If you guys don't have these from Harbor Freight and you need more clamps, go get them. I think they're like $3 a piece, especially on clamps. You don't just buy 1 or 2 clamps, you need a lot of clamps. All right, here we go. Probably should use the right clamps for the job. We're just gonna throw a bunch of clamps at the same job and hope that it works. Probably be a little more strategic about this, but when in doubt, more clamps. All right. Throw these in this scrap pile. Now we take our 2 million clamps off of our pipe here. We're good to go. Here is my trailer hitch. And so we are going to mimic what we have here. So let's go ahead and create a post at this point here. So we are going to cut it off right here, and then we are going to put a hole right there. Here's a 5/8 drill bit. It looks like it's close to 5/8. So this is the trailer hitch side. It's amazing how quick tools start to accumulate on your workbench. Happens fast. This is 2 inch and this is 2 3/8. So let's go ahead and get the welder kicked on. I have this little titanium 225. Amps to about 90, good to go. I welded on this 1/4 inch plate right here to serve as the gusset on that inside corner. I went to my local welding store and picked up these cable clips for fencing and put them on at each of the heights that I want to pull from. Cool beans. So we're finished up. It's still a little hot. We have our 4 attachment points, 36, 32, 28, and 24 inch heights. So let's go give it a test run, see if she works out. So here's our hitch. A little extra persuasion. Nailed it. All right, she's looking good. I have the chain hooked to the tree, and I have my come along hooked all the way to the top. All right, so it's starting to pull the truck, so I'm gonna go put the parking brake on. She's nice and tight, and everything looks to be working quite well. Nothing broke. Oh yeah. So that worked out quite well. I'm happy with the results. Should be very useful. Now, since we finished this one-day build, let's do the ceremonial erasing of the project. Oh yeah. If you like this content and want to see more, like and subscribe. I had my Sharpie somewhere.